Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee and to my 2-month update for my Project Pan 2021. I began this project at the very beginning of December last year, and it will continue until December 31st, January 1st, somewhere right around there of this year slash 2022. Isn't that insane? It's going to be 2022. That doesn't seem like a real year. Anyway, back on track. I will link the introduction video as well as the playlist where I am going to keep all of my updates. The short version is this project has sort of two components. There are older products that I want to finish up and move out, and there are some newer products that I want to hit various usage goals on. Usually they're right around finishing up half the product. So I've actually made some pretty good progress this month. Let's start with one category where I have a moderate amount of movement. So we'll start with nails. The first product I have is this Ulta Beauty polish. I was up here and I've used it exactly once on my fingers and my toes, and I can't make a new line. So not a lot of progress on this particular polish. My goal is to finish this off, and I don't think this will take a terribly long time. There's a part of me that thinks that the product might already be down here. I can see a little bit of windowing in this area. However, I'm not certain enough to mark it because I can't deal with that disappointment if it turns out I'm wrong. I have finished a couple of these in the past, and I don't think they took terribly long, so I'll just keep checking on it. In very exciting news, I have finished up a Wet n Wild nail polish. This is one of their Megalast minis, and it is in a red shade. I'm sorry, I don't have names for any of my mini polishes. Now, this still looks half full to me, but I can't get any out. I mean, I might be able to touch up a nail, but my nails aren't red at the moment, so it's kind of useless to me. And though it looks like there's still quite a bit of product in here, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see the entire brush through the glass. So obviously it's not going to be touching any more product. And I take the approach to Project Pan, when it gets to be too much of a pain to use, I consider it done. I don't like to fight my products. I don't like to spend a bunch of time and energy scraping things out. The entire reason I'm doing a Project Pan is I have plenty of stuff and want to get through it. So I'm calling this done. So one nail polish down, 2 minis, and a full size to go. And speaking of the full size polish, now I did use this one, I think once this month, though I don't see any visible progress. I'm not ready to mark it again. However, my goal on this one is to get to the halfway point, and I'm going to call that sort of right in between the words fast and dry on the bottle. I think that seems like a reasonable goal, and I think I'm on track to meet it. I love this polish, and I see myself wearing it a lot, especially through springtime, so hopefully we will see some very good progress in the months ahead. I do have one more polish. It is another mini from Ulta that's in a little bit more of a light pink shade. However, I haven't touched it this year and it's not currently with me, so of course it is not featuring in this video. Next, we've got lips. Now, I'm kind of at a weird point with my lip products. I have one opaque tube. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Can, and I can't show progress on this, but I suspect that I am getting near the end. However, I felt that way for about the last 6 months and it's still kicking, so I don't know. Maybe I'll finish it, maybe I won't. Anyway, I am continuing to use this quite regularly. I think I've used this probably 6 or 7 times in the past month, which I think it will make for good progress. In the introduction video, I had 2 additional lip products, a lip gloss and then like a tinted balm stick from ColourPop. And both of those were pretty close to death when I introduced the project. They were definitely gimmies. So a lot of my attention last month was focused on using those up, and I was able to use them up in time for last month's update. But that meant that this product, the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in the shade Secret Club, which is the new item in this category, was not getting a ton of attention. However, with those gone, I was able to use this a lot. I think I used this close to 15 times this month. I will sometimes get ready with a brighter colored lipstick and then just switch to this over the course of the day. And that has definitely shown in my usage. Let me show you the picture. Now, last month I was barely even able to make a new line. I moved, I don't know, maybe a millimeter or so. And then this time I used 3 to 4 times as much. And my goal is to get at least the sort of midpoint of the slant down below this pink dotted line that I've made. So I'm definitely making good progress towards that goal, and I think it will be very achievable. And I think there's 1 or 2 items in every category that isn't here physically with me. The final item is a Maybelline lipstick that I am trying to finish off. It's kind of a nude pink color, which is sort of a recurring theme among my lip products in this project, but you know, they're colors that I wear every day. I think they are reasonable colors for me to try to pan. Now for face products, I have 4 face products in this project. The first is a concealer that, again, I don't have with me. The second is this Kat Von D translucent setting powder. It's just a mini, and that's where I was last month, and that's still where I am. I have used this a few times, but because I don't have the concealer or my foundation with me, I haven't felt the need to powder my face a lot. I do tend to use powder more during the summer. I have pretty normal skin, but I can sometimes verge a little bit on oily during the summer. So I suspect that that is when this will get the most use. However, I'm still gonna try to use this once or twice a week in other seasons because this needs to go. This is such a tiny sample, but yet it's been with me for 2.5 years or something at this point. Ridiculous. Next up, we have my Tarte blush. This is in the shade this is in the shade Harmony, and it broke, and it continues to break more. My goal with this month was to finish off the embossing that is still kind of on the edges. Instead, I managed to drop this and another product and shatter 1/3 of it out. Yeah, I don't know. So that wasn't the way I was intending on making progress this month, but progress was made. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, I will get some rubbing alcohol and be able to repress actually several things that you'll see coming and not lose any more of it. But you know what? I'm just going to take the progress and be okay. Next up, we have my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting palette. This is always a struggle to show, but my goal is to hit pan on any one of these powders, and specifically, I think the most likely candidate is this white. I will insert a picture as well as from the one from last month's update so you can compare. I have worn away a good chunk of this corner. I have no idea how deep these pans are, but I could see myself hitting pan within, the next 6 months. I don't think it will take me until November or December to hit pan. Now, speaking of things that I need to be able to repress sooner, we have my Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. There are 3 shades from this palette that are in my project pan. The first is this brown. I use this in my eyebrows pretty much every day, and I make slow but steady progress on it. This cream shade, which you can see is gone, was already pretty close to being gone, and then I tried to repress it. For those who do not know, rubbing alcohol does expire, and don't make the same mistake I did. That was disgusting, and I knew within about half a second of pouring out the rubbing alcohol that I had made a terrible mistake. So that is also gone. Yay! I'm not particularly happy with the way that went down. I do also want to repress this gold shade, which is the 3rd shade that's in the project. It's just so thin around all of these edges that I'm having a really hard time applying with my finger. And if you've been here before, I like to apply most of my eyeshadow with my finger, and that's kind of a problem for me. So I don't think that it will take me a terribly long time once I repress to finish this off. There's really not a whole lot of product left in the pan, and it is a shade that I find really easy to wear on a pretty everyday basis. Next, for the newer product in the eyeshadow category, we have this NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. My goal on this palette is to hit pan in each of these 4 shades. I will again be putting in a picture, but I think you can tell that I have made pretty good progress on this mint. I'm not super close to hitting pan, but I do definitely have a dip in it. I have also been pretty good about using this blue. The green and the purple have not been getting as much use, but I will make a point of using them in the months to come. The category where I've made the most progress is my miscellaneous category. Let's start with my Japanese Cherry Blossom Rollerball perfume. This is from Bath & Body Works, and it is very, very old, which has allowed me to make very, very quick progress on it. Try to find the line. Here is where I was last month, and now I'm all the way down here. I do not have very much of this left. Clearly, it may well actually be done by the time I post this video. I'm filming this a couple days ahead of time. It is not very strong, and it doesn't last for very long. In ye olden days, when this product was young, and I was too, it was pretty strong, but it's definitely degraded over time. However, I still like the scent. It is very pleasant to put on, and I have been enjoying being able to apply this and get that little whiff of the Japanese cherry blossom smell several times a day, and it's showing. I mean, I've used quite a bit of it up just in the past month. Next up, we have the La Roche-Posay Lipikar Balm, and this is gone. I've tried to get more out, and I'm just getting air. This is a balm for very dry skin. It is appropriate for both face and body, according to the La Roche-Posay site. I ended up using this mixed with my moisturizer at night a few times, and I also used it on particularly dry parts of my body. It worked really well. I like it. It's just not something that I need. I, again, have pretty normal skin. I don't have a use for a super hydrating balm, and I don't feel the need to pay La Roche-Posay prices for moisturizer. And finally, we have my Olay Serum Stick, which is also gone. I mean, again, you can see that there's a tiny little bit of product right at the top. There's actually a piece of plastic that goes to right around here. I can no longer apply this without it scratching my face, which is not the goal. Last month, I was here, and now I am, well, right at the bottom because it's gone. I did enjoy applying this. It does feel nice and it left my skin looking very glowy. I almost used it more as a super natural looking highlighter rather than real skincare because I never saw any real change with my skin from using this. It has been discontinued and I wouldn't repurchase anything similar. So again, glad it's gone. One more check mark that I get to add to my list, and one fewer product that's cluttering up my shelf. Now, before we wrap things up, I wanted to talk about some changes that I am considering. I kind of am of two minds about whether or not this should become a rolling style project pan. Certainly, I don't want to add things into the categories where I'm not making exceptional progress. However, I think there's a decent chance that my miscellaneous category will be gone after 2 or 3 more months, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should roll some more things in, or if I should start another project pan maybe halfway through the year or so to work on some additional projects once the products in here have been whittled down a bit more, just to make sure that I have some more variety. If you have any thoughts or preferences on that, I would love to hear it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you will come back next month to check on my progress. I post these update videos somewhere around the first of each month. Thanks again for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!